Mindful Life Practice community.
All right, so we're going to come onto our yoga mats and press our soles of feet onto the mat. Let our knees knock together. And then allow the palms to rest onto the navel, connecting to the breath. So it seems as though at different times of the day this works better. This morning, participants could see the mangroves out through my window, but I think the afternoon it's too bright. Anyway, we'll see. Use this connection of your hands on your belly to dive deep into your breath. How are you breathing in this exact moment? Is it shallow? Is it deep? Are your breaths short or are they long? Is your breath a little all over the place or is it rhythmic? Which part of the body are you physically breathing in towards? When I arrived at yoga, long time ago now, over 10 years ago, I came to yoga for my mental health, and something I've noticed or learned over the years is that our breath, often how we're breathing, it's a reflection of how we're feeling mentally. Right? Often when you're breathing quick and shallow, it means you're in a more hyper, alert, or maybe anxious state of mind. I remember one of my yoga teachers walking over to me and placing her hands on the sides of my body and telling me to breathe at the rhythm she was breathing, and it was slow and deep. Because even her words and instructions just weren't clicking for me. I had to kind of feel it. Yoga for me was this process of learning how to breathe again, because no one really teaches you. Right? People assume something that comes naturally to us physically, people assume that we know how to do it. But it's been scientifically proven that when we slow and deepen and make our breath rhythmic, it's been scientifically proven to help you transition your mental state from more anxious to more calm. So let's try that for a few rounds of breath. Directing your breath into the whole torso, filling up the lungs almost like a balloon. And then exhaling, emptying out. Inhaling, breathing in, filling a balloon. And exhale, blowing out, almost like you're blowing out a birthday candle. Do it again, inhale, breathing deep. Exhale, blowing out the birthday candle. And then can you transition to breathing through the nostrils if it's comfortable for you? And try to make your breath ocean sounding. This is called your Ujjayi breath. Taking one more in total stillness. And interlace your palms. You're going to reach your palms up overhead and then lengthen your legs long on your mat. Walk your interlaced palms over to the right and then walk your feet over to the right as well. And maybe you take your left ankle and hook it over your right ankle. So you're creating this banana with the body and you're breathing into the left side rib cage now. Feel the intercostal muscles expanding. Taking one more. And then walk your feet through center. Walk your arms through center. And then go the opposite way. Right ankle can hook on the left. Breathe into the right rib cage. And then come all the way through center. Take your right knee into your chest, keeping your left leg long. Interlace your palms on the right shin. And then take some circles with the right knee. So you're just kind of getting into the hip crease and feeling what's going on. And then take your circle the opposite way. Come all the way back through center. Press into your shin, drawing your hip further or your knee closer towards you. And then take your right knee out to the side. You're going to step your right foot up towards the sky. You're coming into a half happy baby. And then bend your left knee and place your left foot on the mat. And then you can start dropping your left knee out to the side. So this is a cool variation that I've tried this week in Mark and Jill's class. And I really like it. Sometimes you just do a slight little variation on a pose and you feel it in a different way. It's a nice way to keep things fresh, even if you're an advanced student of yoga. It's funny, when I started this class this was one of the first classes I ever scheduled when I started yoga on Zoom in March. This Saturday beginner's class. Let's cross the right ankle now on top of the left knee. So draw it in, cross your right ankle, flex your right toes, push your right palm into your right thigh. And then either stay here or lift off and interlace the palms on the thigh or the shin. Anyway, I started this class with this idea or this intention that, like, you know, all these people in my community who were brand new to yoga and never wanted to try it would come to this class. And I'm looking at the attendance here and like none of you guys are beginners. You've all been doing yoga with me for a while. What was the point? Why did I get to that train of thought? Yes. So anyway, it's cool to try old poses new ways and see how they access your body part differently. Let's release the left foot and then release the right foot. And then we're going to take these same series the opposite way. So pull your left knee into your chest, lengthen your right leg long, and then start to take some circles with the left knee, waking up the hip crease. Take some circles the opposite way. Come all the way back through center. Pull your left knee towards the side. Lift your left sole of foot like you're stepping on the ceiling. And then step your right foot in, bending at the right knee. And then just drop the right knee open. Finding your half happy baby on this side. And bring your left ankle to cross on top of the right thigh. Push your left palm into your left thigh, either staying here or coming into your thread the needle, or I think it's eye of the needle. What's going on in your hip today? Land your right foot on the mat. Land your left foot on the mat. Place your palms onto the mat. On an inhalation, you're going to lift the hips up, coming into a bridge. And then on an exhale, lower your hips back down. Keep moving like this. On the inhale, you lift. And then on the exhale, you lower. So I took Rowan's class this week, and what we did was a lot of like repetitive movements with the breath. And what I really liked about it was that we were just getting lost in the flow. It almost became a little bit of a moving meditation. So that's what we're going to work on right now. There's no certain number that we're doing this. We're just doing it over and over. Inhales are generally to lift or to expand in yoga, and exhales are generally to lower or contract. Take one more. Lower back down. Take the knees into your chest. Open your right arm on the side of the mat and just roll over to one side like you're coming into a fetal position. You're going to come forward onto the knees. And then sit the hips back onto the heels, coming into a balasana or a child's pose. Let your forehead be heavy. Let your hips be resting on the heels. And then same idea. On the inhale, peel up into a table. And then on your exhale, sit the hips back, find your child's pose. Moving with the rhythm of your breath. So this week, for those of you guys that have been practicing with me regularly, you know that I've been diving into the kleshas. The kleshas, according to Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras, they are habits of the mind that cause suffering. What's super interesting about these is that Patanjali, who was one of the ancient sages, one of the first yogis, or at least one of the first that we know of, one of the first ones that transcribed all of this wisdom, he identified these kleshas, which are problems that we as humans still have today. Take one more, and then after this one, you're just gonna land in your table. And then we're gonna carry on with the same thing. So inhaling, arch your back, lift your heart, lift your chin. This is a cow. And then exhale, curl the spine, tuck the chin. This is a cat. So anyway, Patanjali identified these kleshas, and they're still things that we have today. We just have different names from them. So avidya is the habit of us to detach from the present moment. That's pretty much distraction. It's when you're worried, when you're stuck in, things from the past that you can't let go of. That's avidya. And that's kind of one of the themes I've been planning my classes around. Take one more. And then come all the way to neutral. Take your right leg up behind you. Press evenly through both palms. Just stay here balancing, trying to get your right hip level with your left. And then take your left toes off the side of the mat and slowly start peeling your right arm all the way up towards the sky. And then you're gonna land onto your right foot, and then inhale, lift up into almost this like warrior two thing on the knee. And then we're going to reverse the warrior and then come all the way back up into a warrior two. So again, getting into this flow. And so what the yoga practice does is it helps us confront and confront is maybe not the right word, become aware of these habits of the mind and start to correct them. Taking one more. Come all the way up, and then windmill palms to the mat. Landing your right knee back. We'll take the opposite side, so lift your left leg level with your right. Just finding your balance even on both palms. And then take your right toes off the side, creating a kickstand. Lift your left arm up. And then slowly step the left foot back, coming into this warrior two on this side. Inhaling, reversing. And then exhaling up to the warrior two. So how is it that we use our practice to come into the present moment? I believe the easiest way is concentrating on the breath. Right? In everyday life, our thoughts are usually at the forefront of our brains, and our breath is at the back. And in yoga, we reverse that. We make our focus be on the breath. And then we let the thoughts kind of pass through the mind like clouds coming in and out. Take one more. Coming all the way back, you're gonna windmill forward, plant your palms on the mat, land both knees. And then tuck your toes and lift up and back. Finally, our first down dog. Bend through the right knee and bend through the left, pressing through the calves. And kind of moving through the hips. Come into neutral. Walk your palms back to meet your feet. Find a forward fold of the back of the mat. And then grip your palms onto the nape of your neck. And use this little weight to kind of pull your body further into this forward fold. Emptying completely, letting the weight of the world roll off your back. Staying here for 3, for 2, and then for 1. Release your grip. Slowly roll up each and every vertebrae one at a time until the last thing that lands is your shoulders and then your head on top of your shoulders. And then take a moment to form this strong and steady Tadasana or mountain pose. And then can you walk each foot forward one at a time until you come to stand at the front of your mat. Palms pressed together at heart center, breathing in here. Breathing out now. Inhale here. Exhale now. One more inhale here. Exhale now. Take an inhale, reach your palms up towards the sky. And then exhale, forward fold. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Take an exhale, fold. And then inhale, sweep the palms all the way up to stand. Palms at heart center. 2 more rounds. Inhale, breath in, sweep the arms up. Breath out, empty, release. Breathe in, half lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, sweep the palms upward. Breathe out, hands at heart center. One more, this time you use your own breath. I won't talk. It's okay if you mess up. We'll all meet in Tadasana. Inhale here. Exhale now. Inhale here. Exhale now. Inhale here. And then exhale now. Breath in, sweep the arms up towards the sky. Breath out, forward fold. Breath in, halfway lift. Breath out, lower down, leave your right foot where it is. Step your left foot all the way back on the mat. Rocking forward and back, just getting into the hip crease. Nice. And then land your left knee on the mat. If you need any cushioning for the kneecap, go ahead. On the breath in, we'll sweep the arms up towards the sky. And then on the breath out, send the palms backwards, kind of hinging your heart forward. And then move like this, inhaling, lifting up. And then exhaling, forward fold. Take one more with the breath in, arms reach up overhead. And then on your breath out, forward fold, land the palms. Walk your fingertips back as you invite length over the right leg, and then let's stay for like 5 rounds of breath. Breathing in, breathing out. So one of the things I've been noticing lately is that when yoga moved into the home, my iPhone slowly started creeping into the practice more and more. You have all these different excuses for it, right? For me, it was like, I have to be reachable all the time for people that need me. For business related stuff. This week, I started treating my practice again as like a sacred time. Even as teaching, my phone is no longer beside me. Well, that's because I'm using it for Zoom. You're gonna walk the fingertips forward, tuck your left toes and lift your left knee. Nice, and then just step your right foot back to meet the left, finding a plank. So if you need to lower your knees or if you want to lower your knees, go ahead, it's all good. If you're good in plank, stay for a few breaths. And I think if we're on our phones while we're doing yoga, kind of defeats the purpose, right? We're trying to come into the present moment. And if we're connected to our device, then we're not in the present moment. We're in the past or the future. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's land the knees and then slowly lower all the way down. And then have your fingertips wide on the mat, and then same thing, inhaling so fingertips are tented, and then exhaling, lowering down. So as best you can, honoring that this is your time. I know it's tempting to be hooked in, but try and turn off your phone, try and disconnect. And when we have these hours of our day to do this, I find it's like, you know, an energetic reset, and it's time for me when like my creativity flows. Taking one more of each. And then once you land, just land your palms, rest your head, take a few breaths in neutral, let that shape wash over you. And then plant your palms, shift up to a table, and then back to a down dog. 5 rounds of breath in our Adho Mukha Savasana. And then can you walk your hands back to meet your feet again, finding the back of the mat. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Take an exhale, fold. And then inhale, sweep the palms all the way up to stand, reach through the fingertips. And then draw your palms into heart center, thumbs into the heartbeat, and again, walking slowly and mindfully up to the front of your mat. Breathe in here. Breathe out now. 2 more times. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower down. This time your left foot stays forward, your right foot steps back, and then just wiggle. Wiggle's not the right word. Rock. Nice. Come forward, land onto the right knee. Breathe in, lift your body up. And then start to move with your breath. Your exhale, you come forward. And then your inhale, you reach the arms up towards the sky. Connecting to that ocean sounding breath. And knowing that it's okay if you're trying as hard as you can right now and you're not in the present moment. I have days, weeks, months of my life like that. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, take the palms forward as you walk your fingertips back and lengthen over the left leg. And then we'll hold here for about 5 breaths. Come all the way forward. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Step your left foot back to meet your right, and this time either shift back to a down dog, or if you would like to do a vinyasa, go ahead. Can't believe it's the first vinyasa at 4:35. Extremely gentle today, hasn't it been? Once you arrive up in your down dog, sometimes gentle is nice. Take your right leg up towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Draw your right knee in. You're going to step your right foot between your palms. Land onto your left heel so it's on a 45-degree angle. And now what we're going to play with today is coming up into the warrior one. And then we're going to be transitioning from warrior one into pyramid pose. So you might be able to fully extend the leg and reach the mat. If it's a far reach for you, sometimes yoga blocks can be handy. You don't have blocks, books, whatever, just reach to the air. It's all good. So inhaling, keeping the right knee bent and lifting the arms. And then when you exhale, you slowly lengthen over the right leg and then just hinge forward over the right leg. Don't worry about reaching for anything. Have a little micro bend in the knee. If your hands are on the earth, great. If not, it's also good. You inhale, come up to the warrior one. And then exhale, coming forward into that pyramid shape. And then get into the rhythm with your own breath. And then as you practice this flow, allow the mind to find the present moment. Is there wisdom here in the middle? Is there wisdom in the present moment? Take one more. And then I'm going to give you an opportunity to choose your favorite pose and land there. So it might be the warrior one, it might be the pyramid. For me, I want the hamstring stretch. Nice. Either or. Take 5 breaths into it. And after your 5th round of breath, if you're up in the warrior one, just hinge the hands forward, yeah. And if you have the leg lengthened in pyramid, just bend the knee, lift off of the back heel. And then once again, we will step back and vinyasa all the way up to a down dog. Taking the opposite side, left leg lifts. Draw your left knee in, step your left foot between your palms. Come onto that 45-degree angle with the back foot. Hips are almost squared towards the front of the mat. Inhale your arms up. And then we'll flow. Exhaling into the pyramid. Inhaling, warrior one. One more of each. And then again, choosing your favorite variation and staying there. Ideally, you take the same one as you did on the other side so that you're balanced. But who am I to tell you what to do? You are your first teacher, so you decide. I don't know your body, I don't know your life. Maybe a hamstring stretch is nice on one side and not the other. Ultimately, being a student of yoga is developing your own intuition about that stuff. Your teacher is the guide, but you know, they're not the guru. You are your own guru. You know you. If you're up in that warrior one still, just hinge forward. And if you have the pyramid, bend through the left knee. Step back. Let's follow through with a vinyasa. Come all the way up to a down dog. Then bend the knees, gaze forward. Step your feet up to meet your hands. Take an inhale to halfway lift. Take an exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the palms all the way up to stand. Then take your palms into heart center. Leave your left foot where it is. Lift your right foot up and then just place the right foot somewhere on the inside of the left leg. So it might be here on the thigh, might be down on the calf, maybe on the ankle. Just find one place to stay. Then release the right foot. Let's take the opposite side. So your right foot is going to stay where it is. Lift onto the left tippy toes. Open the knee to the side. And then decide what to do with that foot. Taking the palms into heart center. Using this to connect to your midline. And land your left foot alongside your right. Take an inhale, lift the arms up towards the sky. Take an exhale, fold. If you want to take, inhale, half lift. And then exhale, fold. Now, if you want to take a vinyasa, go ahead. If you just want to step back to down dog, go ahead. This is your last, probably your last vinyasa. And land the knees onto the mat. You can sit the hips back on the heels for a moment. So we're gonna come through our dancing camel sequence. So how you're gonna do this, you can keep your toes tucked under if you like. Your right fingertips are gonna be tented behind you, or maybe they can reach the ankle. And then you're gonna inhale and lift your heart up. And then you just come back down, and then opposite side. So left hand lands, right arm reaches up. So I like this method for a few reasons. One is that it really engages your quads and your back muscles. And another is that it makes camel a lot less scary. Right? I was always taught to enter camel from upright. And for me, it felt like I was falling backwards. It was really, really scary, very anxiety inducing. But here it doesn't seem so scary, does it? You know, when you start from the bottom up, you feel the earth beneath you holding you here. You feel your arm holding you. You don't have to reach back for something you can't see. Take one more of each. Then come all the way back through center. And let's play with entering our camel fully. So both hands on the ankles, engaging the quads and seeing if you can lift your hips up. Nice, keeping your chin tucked, Jalandhara Bandha. How does this feel for you? Generally feels pretty vulnerable for a lot of us to open our hearts. But for everybody, it's different. Take one more breath. And then slowly, slowly start to sit back. Walking your hands forward, untucking the toes. Maybe just kind of kicking out through the feet. And then let's sit the hips back on the heels and rest the forehead. Giving yourself a few moments in a child's pose, Balasana, to reset. And then just come to sit up. You come closer to the camera. We're gonna do a tiny bit of pranayama. So if you wanna be sitting on a bolster or sitting crisscross or whatever, pranayama is a little bit of breath work. And we're gonna take a type of breathing called alternate nostril breathing. So you're gonna have your right hand. You're going to be using your thumb and your index finger. And you can place your other two fingers on your forehead. Other two, what are these ones called? These two, the peace fingers. Now, if you're uncomfortable with touching your face, or if you just don't like blocking your nostrils, you can also just breathe normally and visualize what we're doing. That's okay too. But if you do want to explore this, what we're going to do is plug the right nostril with the right thumb, and then take an inhale through the left nostril. Plug the left nostril with the ring finger, I think it is, and then exhale through the right nostril. Gotta learn the names of my fingers, apparently. Inhale through the right nostril. Plug it off. Exhale through the left. So keep going with this rhythm. Do one more of each. Taking your last exhale through your left nostril. When you're done, just land your palm back on your thigh. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Slowly start to make your way onto your back. If there's any last poses that you wish to do here before your final resting pose, maybe a spinal twist, maybe a happy baby, now is your time to do so. And then choose a pose that will be like a container, holding you while you soak in the effects of your practice. So the most important thing that we learn from our yoga practice, it's presence. The Yoga Sutras calls avidya the habit of the mind to disconnect from the present and to wander into worlds of its own. The problem is we are in this habit of unplugging from the present world and plugging into an imaginary one without realizing we've done it. Avidya means not seeing things as they are. Right? We see a sunset and we think of who we want to share it with and how much they would have loved it. All the while missing the feeling of the breeze on our skin. The problem begins and ends with our inability to connect to life in the only time and the only place it ever happens, right now. The Yoga Sutras starts with the phase, and now is all. Now that is all. The rest is just made up. So the solution is relearning our connection to the now. We are like a wave that has forgotten the ocean. And the solution is to feel back into the ocean and to live from that connection. Reducing the negative dramas. Increasing the amount of joy we can experience in everyday life. Right, so it starts with our connection to the body and the breath. And then it broadens to encompass the mind and the moment. And we learn how to hold our connection to life and everything in it, like the sky that holds the weather. Letting go of the drama, cultivating joy, and practicing connection, which at the end of the day is the most important thing. We're part of something. This something exists right now. And yoga is how we connect to this moment and what happens next. And that is all. When you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of the feet upon the ground, and carry on. When you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet upon the ground, and carry on. Carry on, carry on. Just give your fingers and your toes a little wake up wiggle. Run a nice, sweet and simple stretch through the body. Curl the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Acknowledge the fact that you showed up here. It's not always easy. So thank yourself for that. And then slowly make your way up to a seated posture. Taking your palms together into heart center. Lengthen up through the spine, softening the shoulders, tuck the chin. We close with an intention, an ancient intention, but perhaps the original intention. It's been passed from heart to heart through thousands of years. And it's that our yoga practice remain steady, that our efforts on this path be continuous, and that our yoga serves and benefits all beings everywhere. May all beings be safe, be happy, be healthy and free, and may the thoughts and actions of each of our lives contribute towards this. So finishing with an Om, inhaling and then exhaling, and then inhaling through to make the Om. Take a breath in, breath out, breath in. Om. you. Thank you. Thank you for showing up, for making it here. The light that is within me sees and honors the light that is within you. Om Shanti Shanti. Peace. Namaste.
The Mindful Life Practice Community.